That means everybody, quiet now. Rehearsal.
Start your song, Dick.
Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like two roses fair, the prettiest face and the neatest hands.
Him.
And on the line, you move in very close, very fast for a nice, tight close-up of Hazel here.
Must you move in close? Miss Courtney's been before the cameras on the other location all morning. She's looking tired.
I am not concerned with beauty, Collier. I want a careworn face. If she's tired, that's all to the good.
We didn't do things like that in my day. We always tried to get an element of beauty in the shot.
This isn't your day, Collier. It's mine.
Mr. Howard, I'll stop this rehearsal and walk right off this picture if you don't apologize to him immediately.
I'm sorry. I lost my temper. My apologies, Collier. Now, can we go ahead? All right, now we pan over to Naomi. Naomi, look at your mother fearfully, expectantly. And off camera, Miss Courtney reads her line.
Just go open that door and look in there on the table. See what he'd done for the thing you love the most in the whole world. Just 'cause you love it the most.
All right, start for the door, honey. Okay, now you pan with her as she goes to the door. Now, honey, you don't know it yet, but inside there, lying on a table, dead, is your little white rabbit. All right, now you reach for the latch slowly. Open the door. All right, now lying right there is the rabbit. You scream. All right, and we cut right there. Okay, honey, I know you're a method gal, but don't overdo it.
Shayne.
Well, why doesn't somebody do something?
Nobody can do anything until the police come.
All they care about is this lousy picture. Well, look at them. Just look at them.
Collier, I'm frightened.
Nothing to be afraid of.
Without you, I'm nothing. Everything was so different when you directed me.
We'll have those days again.
How?
With
With that?
Jimmy?
A cheap picture about sex and violence?
I know, but these pictures make money. And you'll be a part of it.
Part of what? There isn't that much money in the whole world. I'd give anything to get out of it. Anything.
Miss Courtney.
Yes, Mr. Howard.
Miss Courtney, I've been talking to the cameraman. I think I found a way to point up the quality of the picture.
Point up what? The quality of, frankly, smut.
Miss Courtney, I happen to believe that this picture has something profound to say, and I'm trying to find a way to say it with some artistry.
I think what Miss Courtney meant to say.
Exactly what I said, Collier. Mr. Howard, you're quite young. Perhaps you have to delude yourself into thinking you're doing something artistic. I don't.
Miss Courtney, I am not given to, as you call it, deluding myself.
Will you stop it? What does it matter about the picture? Oliver's lying in there. He's dead.
And I've got a picture to finish.
Sorry, my dear.
Yes. Yes, we should have kept in mind how much Oliver meant to you.
He meant this to me. He was a human being, which is a lot more than I can say for you.
I didn't know she had that much feeling for him. She's taking it pretty hard.
Or giving an excellent performance.
And now you will see, Mr. Gardner, what your money will buy for you. There is nothing quite so interesting, so exciting, so glamorous as the motion picture business.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather stick to dollars and cents.
Naturally. And here is the most interesting new personality in our business. My young genius director. On Broadway, they love him. Even in the New Yorker, he gets good reviews. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gardner, Mr. Jack Howard.
Hello?
Mr. Gardner is anticipating a little investment in our little project.
How are you, Dimitri?
Listen, Jack, set up a little scene for us to shoot now so we can see something dramatic, something exciting, you know. Some...
I can't set up anything now, Dimitri. We've got to wait.
For what?
For them.
Police? What are you doing here?
I'm working here. I'm what they call atmosphere.
I'll bet. Where's Mike?
He had nothing to do with this. This is Mr. Howard, the director.
Will Gentry, homicide. Where's the body?
In the shack.
Let's have a look. Body? What body? What body? Will somebody please tell me what is going on here?
Oliver Quentin is dead.
Someone shot him, Dimitri.
That's terrible. Oh, Mr. Gardner, this shouldn't change your mind about investing or anything.
Change my mind. I'm just getting interested.
This makes no difference?
Why should it? The associate producer writer gets killed. The publicity will give it a chance to make some real money.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gardner. Mr. Collier Davis, you remember the world-famous director? And the so beautiful star whom he discovered, Miss Hazel Courtney.
How do you do?
And now she is my box office star.
Mr. Gardner seems to think murder is a bigger draw than I am.
Publicity has its value, Miss Courtney.
How true. Collier, would you please find that officer and tell him I'd like to leave now? Good day, Mr. Gardner. Dimitri.
But you won't be offended, Mr. Gardner. You know, actress's temperament.
Don't worry, Markov. Nobody can offend me when I see a chance to make $1. This is exploited, right? First move we make is to hire our own private detective.
A detective?
I know the man, Mike Shayne. He's got good contacts with the papers, and we can pick up a lot of space by hiring him.
Yes, but the police are already working on the case.
They're working for the city. What we want is someone who's working for us. So that every time his name is mentioned, the name of the picture, what do you call it?
Dust be my daughter. Yes, but a private detective, I don't...
Mr. Markov, if you haven't got the brains to see the publicity value of something like this, I don't think I'm interested in putting money into your picture.
Mr. Gardner, of course, I see exactly what you mean.
Okay, get the other side of the room. I don't know what good it'll do, but dust the doorknob, will you? I will. Well, thought you weren't in on this.
I wasn't, till about an hour ago. Now I got a client.
Isn't that nice?
Well, don't blame me. I don't pick up a weekly check from the city. I've got to just get one whenever I get a chance.
What do you want me to do, bleed for you? I've seen the size of some of your checks.
Now, you can save the blood, Will. I'll settle for a little conversation. Like, maybe a rundown?
Victim Oliver Quentin, age 47, height 5 feet 8, weight 220. Profession, screenwriter, associate producer. What's an associate producer?
Well,
Cause of death, single gunshot wound right smack in the middle of the forehead. Have to wait for ballistics to confirm it. From the size of the hole, I'd say the gun was no bigger than a .32.
time of death?
Oh, roughly between 10 and 11:30 a.m.
Find the gun.
I don't know. Waiting for what they call a prop man.
Here they are.
Ah, put him here, will you?
It's everyone that's being used in the picture. Every gun the property department's responsible for.
You just hand these out as they're needed?
Oh, no, they gotta be signed out.
Plenty of 32s in here. Pistols and automatics.
332s, 238s, 144, plus the 2 shotguns.
You keep track of them all the time?
Yes, sir.
Every minute?
When they're being used, I never let them out of my sight. No, sir, not me. I know my responsibilities.
What about when they're not being used?
They're kept on the property truck, and I'm always there.
Always?
Yes, always.
You never leave them, not even for a minute.
Well, maybe for a minute or 2.
Or 3 or 5?
When I said always, I meant practically always. This director's always on my back about something.
Then someone could have picked up one of these guns.
Well, now, if you want to talk about what's possible,
Okay, as long as it's possible, that's all we're interested in.
I got to get those guns back, you know.
Oh, you'll get them back.
Well, that happens to be company property.
I said you'll get them back. Ballistics.
Thank you.
One of those guns, maybe?
Oh, no. Have to wait for ballistics to check them out.
Anyone hear the shot?
Not much chance. They were using those guns between 10 and 11:30 this morning, filming a gun battle down the gully there.
Well, that didn't help much.
Hey.
Yeah.
How about those guns?
Yeah?
Well, there's one that ain't there.
Oh?
Now, look, it's not my fault. Like I said, this director is always on my back.
What about the gun?
I got a job, you know. I'll tell you anyway. Like I said, this director, well, it's none of my business. He's running the show.
What about the gun?
He's got a gun. Never checks it in with me. Always keeps it with him. Always.
There must be a better way.
There is. The PPG way, with PPG's Columbia Calcium Chloride, a fast and effective ice-melting agent. Yes, Columbia Calcium Chloride flakes will really do the job and take the skid out of ice. Be prepared. Keep a good supply on hand. You'll find Columbia Calcium Chloride at any retail store where you see this sign. Look for it. It's your assurance of quality. Because behind this sign are the vast research facilities in chemicals, glass, paints, and fiberglass of the Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company. PPG, where leadership in research leads to a better life for you.
All right, action.
No, cut it.
All right, you know what they're telling you, huh? Now, come on, laugh it up.
Mr. Howard,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you.
All right, as soon as I finish this tape.
Now.
All right, hold everything. All right, what is it?
You got a gun?
What are you talking about?
That.
Oh, you mean this? Oh, sure, I use this all the time.
What for?
Well, gentlemen, I'm making a motion picture. In this motion picture, there's a great deal of conflict. In order to bring out this conflict, we use guns. This, gentleman, is a Q gun. I use it for signaling. Bang, bang, you know what I mean?
No.
Blanks.
That's 2 of them. What about the other 4?
We'll find out. Don't plan on going anywhere, Mr. Howard.
That's a very funny man. Come on, Dick. Get your coat. We're going.
All right, places, everybody. Let's try it again.
Well, I'm taking Dick back to town with me. And how about letting me know the results of that ballistics test?
I might get big-hearted. Give me a call.
Right. What about the dead man, Quentin?
I only saw him a couple times.
What was he like?
He's dead, isn't he?
As bad as that?
Worse. You know the type. $200 suit with a dirty shirt. I didn't stop the women, though.
Oh?
Boy, for a fat little man, he sure got around.
Around who?
You name it and you got it. There was a new one on that set every day. The word is he got him out of the line at the Sans Souci. There wasn't one of those girls under 5'11".
No, you don't have to tell me about the gals at the Sans Souci. What about that young one in your show?
Oh, Naomi?
Hmm.
She's a little offbeat, but she wouldn't go for him.
That wouldn't be wishful thinking, would it?
Yes, sir. May I help you?
What's Mr. Quentin's room number?
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't you hear? Mr. Quentin's dead.
Mike Shayne, detective.
Oh, yes, of course, the police. The whole movie company's staying here. I do hope this won't give the hotel a bad name.
No, I don't think it will.
Isn't he kind of young to be a policeman?
The new breed. College degree. All brain. What's that room number?
308.
The key.
The key. Oh, yes, of course, the key. Oh, sir. This telegram and his hotel bill, what shall I do with it?
I'll take him.
Yes, sir.
Third floor.
What's it say?
Confirming phone conversation. Jane Leslie available to replace Courtney. Price discussed agreeable. Will set deal on receipt of confirming telegram. Tom Martin, Greenberg Agency.
Well, that's funny. I mean, why would they fire her? She's a star.
Somebody didn't think so. Quite a hotel bill. Room service 12, long distance phone $32, florist $8, room service 10, public stenographer 5, notary public $2. 308, huh?
Some room service.
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
Anything that will fill us in on Quentin.
Mike?
I always thought you were needed in this, Mike. Well?
I'm thinking, Will. Give me time. I'll come up with something.
Oh, come off it, Mike. There's a law covers this.
Wait a minute. We didn't do this, Mr. Gentry. It was like this when we got here.
That's true.
No, I'm sure it's true, but that doesn't explain what you're doing here. Hello? Yeah, this is Gentry. Oh, good. I've been waiting to hear about that bullet. Hold it a minute. You can go, Mike.
I don't mind waiting, Will.
Oh, I know you don't.
And you were going to fill me in on that ballistics report.
That was before you pulled this stunt. Out.
That the way you want to play it?
That's the way I want to play it. Out.
Okay.
Now, what about that bullet?
Now what do we do? Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
I've stuck these letters of Quentin's in my pocket. I better give them back.
Don't you ever do that again.
Beats Lady Chatterley's lover.
Yeah. How would you know? You doing anything?
No, not a thing.
That's what you think. Yeah, taking a movie.
Oh?
See you later.
Give my love to Lady Chatterley.
This is the
desk. May I help you?
Yeah, this is Mike Shayne. What's Naomi Lester's room number? Miss Lester?
Why be so formal? Come on in.
Thanks. I'm Mike Shayne.
Oh, I know a lot about you. Got a feeling I'd love to know a lot more. Drink?
Yeah. Little brandy? What did you hear? And where?
Dick Hamilton. You know, he's very fond of you. From the female viewpoint, I can see why.
How about you and me doing a little talking?
Oh, do we need words?
Well, if we do, it's going to be hard to hear them.
You like jazz?
Oh, some of it. Dick's been educating me.
Nice kid. Nice voice. But my tastes lean toward older men.
Well, I'll have to tell him about your tastes and his voice.
He ought to make a career out of singing. The way he carries on about you, he'll probably wind up being a private detective.
Well, is that bad?
No. No, I guess it's kind of exciting. Looking for clues and fingerprints and things.
It has its moments.
Oh? Then I take it you find something else more exciting? Like,
Pushing buttons
pushing buttons.
on people. Like, for instance, you.
My pleasure. Push.
I heard you were quite upset over Quentin's death. Quick recovery.
Well, you ought to understand that. I'm an actress. Very high-strung, sensitive.
And it was a performance?
No, I felt it. You see, the part I was playing, I was supposed to see something very dear to me, dead. Well, when I saw what I saw, everything kind of blended together. The scene, me, part, everything. I just couldn't unwind.
But now you can.
With a little help.
And I take it Quentin's death didn't leave you exactly broken-hearted.
Well, I don't want to see anybody dead, not even...
Not even Oliver Quentin? Is that what you were going to say? Did he bother you?
How would you like being pawed by a fat little monster?
You certainly write a lot different than you talk.
Where did you get those?
Oh, I looked for clues, fingerprints and things. You certainly didn't call him a fat little...
I know what I call him.
And the picture. Why, in this letter, you say...
Mr. Shayne? I say a lot of things. And I do a lot of things because I know where I want to go.
Where?
To the top. I'm a good actress. And if that means that I have to be nice to fat little men, well...
All right. Then what did you really think of him?
He was a stinking little pig who's better off...
Better off dead, Miss Lester?
Look, just what are you trying to do, Buster?
I told you. Push buttons.
Well, quit pushing them on me, will you?
It was your invitation.
Well, the invitation's off. You know, if I killed every man in this business that I had to be nice to, I'd be a female Bluebeard. Now, why don't you get out of here? And I'll take my letters?
No. You'll get them when I'm through with them.
Why, you lousy... Let go of me! Let go! go! Let go! I could kill you.
I think you could. Yeah.
It's the hot new wagon with the low price appeal. The new F-85 by Oldsmobile. This double-duty beauty is equally at home in the suburbs or in town. The F-85 station wagon is sized right, powered right, priced right. It slips through traffic with the nimbleness of a star halfback. Parking? This station wagon is a cinch in a pinch with inches to spare. The F-85 station wagon is loaded with room, and the new Easy Load liftgate eliminates stretching. Performance? Well, the F-85 has an exclusive V8 Rocket engine made of lightweight aluminum for remarkable performance and outstanding fuel economy. It's standard on every F-85. So whether you live in the city or the suburbs or the country, you'll find Oldsmobile's F-85 the ideal multi-purpose wagon. F-85, built for the buyer who wants something better in a smaller car.
Hello, Miss Dover.
Hello?
My name is Mike Shayne. I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
People don't talk to me. They just dictate. And it costs them money.
Well, just a little information.
The public library is 2 blocks down and 1 block over.
It's not that kind. If you just stop typing for a minute, I'll tell you what I'd like to know.
Costs money for me to stop typing. You talk and I'll type.
You did some typing and notarized something for a Mr. Oliver Quinton.
Did I?
It's on his hotel bill.
Then I did.
What was it about?
I never divulged such information.
Never?
Never.
Oh, that's a shame, and I was hoping you'd be able to help me.
It, was a letter of agreement between Mr. Oliver Quinton and Mr. Dmitri Markov regarding their percentages in a moving picture. They both signed it. I notarized it. 1 copy went to Mr. Quinton, 1 to Mr. Markov.
Were there any other copies?
Not that Mr. Quinton or Mr. Markov knew, no. But I always make an extra copy of everything, just for my own protection, in case any, questions come up.
And that extra copy?
The file behind you under Q. Satisfactory, Mr. Shayne?
More than satisfactory, Miss Dover. Thank you very much. Mr. Gardner?
Yes, who the devil is this?
Mike Shayne. I'd like you to answer a question.
I hired you to ask other people questions. You just got me out of the shower.
Sorry?
Well, stop being sorry and ask your question. I'm dripping water all over the floor.
Meet me at my office in an hour.
Look, Shayne.
1 hour. Sit down, Mr. Gardner.
You'd better have a good reason for dragging me over here.
I have. How much of the picture is Markov offering to sell you?
30%.
He's bad at arithmetic. That adds up to 130% he'd be selling.
I know that. I'm not a fool, Shayne. I had my lawyers investigate his financial status thoroughly.
Now, wait a minute. I don't get it. You mean you're prepared to invest money with a man you know is a fraud?
Well, let's just say I'm a sentimentalist. I owe a lady an obligation, and I like to pay my debts.
The lady being an actress named Jane Leslie?
That's right.
Your romantic obligations come high.
I don't put a ceiling on pleasure.
Or integrity, eh, Mr. Gardner?
Oh, don't be naive.
I may be a lot of things, but naive I'm not. How did you and Quentin figure to get past Markov? He wants Hazel Courtney.
You said it yourself. When he takes my money, he's guilty of fraud. The district attorney takes a dim view of fraud.
Nice squeeze play. Nice and tidy, but you're forgetting something.
What's that?
Markov might have found out about your deal with Quentin.
So?
In that case, you could have set a man up for murder.
The man isn't even cold yet. Already you're rewriting the script.
That script is a fine piece of work.
Please, Hazel, Collier, have a little respect for the dead.
Dimitri, a writer doesn't turn into Shakespeare by the simple expedient of dying.
Besides, Quentin's death has nothing to do with this. I've said from the beginning I'd be happy to do it in its original form, but Howard changed it.
It wouldn't take much work to get it back into shape.
Work is time. Time is money. Now, why can't we all get along with each other?
All right, you get along, Dimitri. No actress or third-rate silent picture director is going to tell me what to do.
How dare you say that?
Why don't you face reality? What you want is passé.
Please, please.
Would you be kind enough to tell me just what you do want, young man?
All right. Quentin and I worked on that rewrite for weeks. I want it just as it is written.
But is it?
Is it what?
Written. You and Quentin dipped a sponge in a sewer, threw the residue on paper, and called it a script.
Collier, please, let's not throw any more oil on the fire. Why can't we get along without fighting?
But he's right, Dimitri. Quite right.
Hazel, believe me, this is what the public wants.
Well, if it does, it doesn't want me.
All right. All right, as long as we're letting our hair down. I didn't want you in the first place. If Quentin were alive, he'd verify that.
That's enough, Howard.
Oh, no, it isn't. That is not nearly enough. And you, Collier, you have been finished for years. Why don't you tell him, Dimitri? Go on, tell him you wanted her. To get her, we had to take him. You know what you are, Collier? You're a $100 a week dialogue coach, and you know you're not worth it.
Howard, I will not have you talking to him like that. Now, you apologize to both of them immediately.
No, why should he? He's probably quite right. He's quite right in saying that I cling to Hazel. I live in the shadow of my past.
Collier, there wouldn't be a past if it hadn't been for you, Collier.
You make the past sound like a dirty word, Howard. But I can tell you this. It was the era before the words love, beauty, and strength became synonyms for sex, realism, violence. The flavor of your era, Mr. Howard, I want no part of it.
Beautiful the way that man speaks, huh? And such a great director he was.
He still is.
Not for today's market. Taste he has, talent he has, but not for what sells tickets at the box office.
Dimitri, I'm doing this picture not because of the box office, but because it has something to say. It's got guts, it's got beauty, it's got artistry.
Why don't you shut up? You take yourself so seriously. You fool yourself. You make this junk and you think it's art because a bunch of critics with big words and small circulations tell you it is. I know what it is. It's dirt. But I'm going to keep on making it because it's box office. And you wouldn't even be the director if Quentin hadn't insisted on it.
Oh, thank you, Dimitri, for seeing things our way.
No, I don't see anything. All I know is I'm going to make it, you're going to play in it because we have a contract. And you, get out of here. I want to talk to my star alone.
There are some things I have to say to you that I couldn't say in there. Now, you're going to listen to me.
Get out of my way.
You're going to listen to me.
I'm not listening to anything. Ever since I started this picture, you've been in my way. Now just get out of my way.
Why don't you try me?
Why do you make trouble? You weren't hired to make trouble.
Hazel, I haven't finished talking to you yet.
As far as I'm concerned, we've quite finished.
Looks like there's no one to talk with but me.
You want to talk? Fine. It'll be a pleasure to talk to someone who is normal for a change. Please, sit down. Be comfortable. Can I fix you a drink?
Yeah, cognac. Thanks.
Maybe a cigar, too?
No, thanks.
You don't mind if I do? Helps to calm my nerves. One thing, Mr. Shayne, I hope you never do, or you should wish on your children that they should produce a picture.
I'll keep that in mind.
Such fighting, such arguments, such screaming. You know, it's no wonder to me that the psychiatrists in Hollywood make so much money.
I think I'll try that cigar after all, Mr. Markov.
Please, be my guest.
Thanks. Knife?
Of course. Now, you were going to talk to me about something special?
I'd like you to tell me something about finances.
Finances?
Now, this picture you're making, how many people have an interest in it, and how much of an interest?
That is confidential information, Mr. Shayne.
And you'd like to keep it that way? Now, you were offering to sell Mr. Gardner 30% of the picture?
It is obvious he told you, so you know.
But do you have 30% to sell, Mr. Markov?
Would I have offered it if I didn't?
I don't know. Would you?
Get to the point.
Well, the way I see it, 40% of the picture is owned by the distributors who put up the original money. 20% by the laboratory that makes the prints. 30% by Mr. Quentin and 10% by you. Now, that makes 100%. Now, tell me this. Where were you planning to get the 30% to sell to Mr. Gardner?
Do you think that I only own 10% of a picture which I am going to produce?
What about your agreement with Mr. Quentin? Was there anything on paper?
Do I look like a fool?
I was just thinking the police might find such an agreement among Quentin's things.
Then let them look, search. They will find no such agreement on paper.
I believe you, Mr. Markov.
Thank you for that, Mr. Shayne.
They won't find it because you've already found it.
That's a very dangerous statement to make. I could sue you for slander.
You won't.
And what is to stop me?
A couple of pieces of thread, a little scrap of leather. Not much, but there are men on death row for less.
Death row? What kind of talk is that?
An attaché case in Quentin's room was cut open. The police have that case, Mr. Markov. How much do you want to bet that these bits of thread and that piece of leather won't match up with it under a microscope? I'll give you odds that it will.
All right, Mr. Shayne. I admit it. I was in the room, and I searched, but not for what you say. For something personal. Because there is no paper like the one you're talking about. What is that?
A carbon copy of the paper you say never existed.
Carbon?
A public stenographer has to protect herself against a beef over what she's transcribed.
You could be bluffing.
I could be, but I'm not.
All right. I admit the search. I admit the paper. But not murder. It is true, I tried to take advantage of Quentin's death, but I did not kill him.
30% is a good motive.
But I tried to sell that 30% long before Quentin's death. I needed the money to finish the picture.
That's fraud.
Fraud, yes, but not murder.
130% is a little crowded.
If the picture is a flop and the money is lost, then I have nothing to worry about. But if it's a hit, then I would have made it good.
And when you learned Quentin was dead, you saw you had a chance to keep from making what you call good.
Yes, if I could have gotten rid of the original of that, then there would have been no proof. But believe me, I swear to you, I did not kill him.
And I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Markov. But don't plan any sudden trips.
As you say, Mr. Shayne. Oh, please. My knife?
No, Mr. Markov. This goes to the police laboratory.
Police?
If you've been telling the truth, then you haven't got too much to worry about. Oh, here's your cigar. You look like you need it more than I do.
Run a lad comparison. The threads and leather caught in that knife against the attaché case I brought back from the hotel.
Truce?
Why?
Well, a copy of the agreement, the knife, they should be worth some concession.
Maybe.
Right. Now then, what else do we know?
I never know what we know. I only know what I know.
All right, then. You tell me, and we'll both know.
Okay, I guess I owe you something. Howard has a police record.
Oh?
Yeah, he was arrested twice for assault and battery. Once when he was 19 in college, the other time when he was about 24, directing some kind of a show off Broadway. Got into a beef with an actor.
Sounds like a man who likes to be right.
Yeah. The bullet that killed Quentin was a .32. But it wasn't from Howard's gun. One of those in the prop box. No latent prints.
You know, there's something missing, though.
What?
Where's the shell casing that goes with that bullet? It's an automatic. The casing had to be ejected.
Don't you think we thought of that? We went over that shack with a fine tooth comb. There was nothing.
Yeah, but where did it go?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. You've got the bullet, but where's the casing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well.
Okay, we'll have another look. Where'd the shell go?
Right on the floor by my foot. Are you sure this is the angle and the position the killer was standing in?
Exactly the same. Of course, the killer wasn't using blanks.
Yeah, but the action would be the same.
Yeah.
Let's try it again.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, now.
Don't trust me, huh?
Not with blanks.
Now keep your eye on the ejector. And again. And once more.
Same place, right by your foot. Just bounce the roll a little.
And yet you didn't find a cartridge when the killer fired the gun.
Why would he pick it up?
Maybe he didn't, Will.
I'm listening.
Start looking.
Oh, come on, Mike.
Impossible?
Improbable.
But not impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
Haven't you ever dropped something, a coin or anything, and it lands in your cuff?
It's 100, 1,000 to 1 shot, Mike.
Right, but have you got any idea that offers better odds?
Not at the moment. That would eliminate the 2 women, Courtney and Lester.
Courtney, yes. But Lester, no. She was wearing dungarees.
Means whoever the killer is walking around with a shell in his or her cuff.
Maybe not. They all changed clothes since they left here. That shell might be in someone's room or closet.
10,000 to 1 shot, Mike.
I might be able to cut those odds a little.
You holding out on them?
No, it's just an idea, something I heard.
Like what?
Well, I wouldn't want to make an accusation without some support. I could be sued from here to tomorrow for defamation of character, but I'll say this much. I think I know the first room to search.
10,000 to 1, Mike.
When you're behind, stay with the long shots.
Oh, sure, and then find yourself walking home from the track.
We might be due for a winner.
Okay, we search.
Then you can sue me because I'm not going on with it.
Hazel, please, darling.
Will you listen to me, Dimitri?
Look, I have listened to you. Now you listen to me. I've been thinking. Maybe he's right.
He is
and
not.
And maybe you're right, too. So we take a little bit of both, all right?
I signed to direct a picture by Oliver Quentin.
No. You signed to direct a picture called Dust Be My Daughter. Maybe you don't read so good, huh? Maybe you should read your contract. Or maybe you should read the suggestions which Collier has made. Please, Collier. I read them. I liked them. I admit it.
You know something, Dimitri? You are a ridiculous man. It's people like you who set the real theater back 30 years. All right. All right, I'll read it. And if I like it, I'll do it.
No. You'll read it and you'll do it. Now, there have been many harsh things said. Nobody expects violins and hearts and flowers all the time. But you do your fighting away from work, on the set. Be professional. Now, Hazel, please.
Well, the gathering of the clan.
Please, gentlemen, we are having a business discussion. Couldn't you possibly come back some other time?
Murder's important business, too, Mr. Marker.
That should interest you.
You know who killed him?
Yes.
Who was it?
We have an answer for that.
But what we'd like to find out now is why.
Read the telegram, Mike.
Confirming phone conversation, Jane Leslie available to replace Courtney. Price discussed agreeable. Will set deal on receipt of confirming telegram. Tom Martin, Greenberg Agency.
Dimitri, you were going to replace me?
Not me. Gentlemen, I am the one who was fighting to keep her.
There were two people who knew Miss Courtney was going to be replaced. Quentin, the man who lost that.
What?
Shell casing from the bullet that killed Quentin?
We found it in your room, Mr. Davis. Want to tell us about it?
You're very perceptive, Mr. Shayne.
Collier.
You have made a mistake, Mr. Shayne.
No, he hasn't.
All right, Mr. Davis.
Collier, why? Why?
For you. And perhaps a little bit for myself. I had created a shadow on the screen. Because that's what you were. A shadow. And I didn't want it to vanish.
To kill a man? Why?
It didn't matter so much that Quentin promised me that I should direct the picture if he got you. I could accept that he used me. That I was nothing more than $100 a week coach. But when Quentin tried to destroy you...
When did you find out that Quentin was replacing her?
The night before last, he told me that Gardner was pulling the strings. And there was nothing Dimitri could do.
Why didn't you come to me? Tell me what he was trying to do.
Oh, I couldn't trust you. How can anyone?
All right, Mr. Davis. Coming?
Oh. Sorry, I can't, Lieutenant.
Collier?
What was in that?
Digitalis. He has a heart condition.
A massive dose, Mr. Shayne. A permanent cure for heart trouble.
Oh, no.
Will Gentry homicide. Get an ambulance over to the Vista Hotel, room 610. Fast.
No need to hurry now. It isn't necessary.
Oh, God.
Lucy, how you've changed.
Lucy says she has one more day of vacation and she's going to spend it at the beach. And if you want her, you know where you can find her.
Good. Anything else?
Oh, yeah, Will Gentry called. Wants you to meet him at the racetrack.
The racetrack?
Yeah. Shell shock. 20 to 1 in the fifth, and if you believe in hunches, he'll be seeing you.
Yeah, maybe you will.
Oh, another thing. Mr. Gardner's waiting for you inside.
Here's your fee, Shayne.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gardner. Oh, hello. What about the picture?
Oh, Mr. Gardner's going to go on with it.
Sure am. And we're going to use that script of Collier's. It's good, and the publicity won't hurt.
Mr. Gardner thinks this one will make a star out of me.
And if this one doesn't, the next one will.
Bye.
Lots of luck.
I guess she goes for older men, huh?
Among other things.
I wonder why.
I wouldn't waste my time wondering if I were you. Believe me, those two deserve each other. Here are some exciting moments from next week's Michael Shayne mystery.
I want a divorce.
Who is she?
A beautiful young doll that needs a father image. Who is she?
That's no concern of yours.
Well, it's my money that's taking her out, and I want to know what you're getting for it. Oh.
I could kill you for that.
You're going to do just what you want to do anyway, aren't you?
Angel, I don't know what I'd do without you. Mrs. Walker has a theory on the murder.
You wanted Tom's money, and when he told you the truth, that he loved me, you killed him.
I had no reason to kill him. He was going through with the divorce.
It's a lie.
Is it a lie, Mrs. Walker?
Tonight's Michael Shayne was presented by Listerine, the antiseptic that brings you protection and depth against bad breath. And by Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company, PPG. And by Oldsmobile, in behalf of Oldsmobile quality dealers everywhere.